Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So today, So today we are doing a reaction video, and it is to another Judy D video, worst reviewed makeup. Listen, you absolutely love Judy D. I love Judy D, and I had so many requests for this one particular video, and I actually get a lot of requests for all her videos. As much as I would like to, I can't react to all her videos because this would just be re-uploading her content, and that wouldn't be so good. So I have saved this one. I haven't watched this one. I watch all of her videos, so I don't like to wait, but I have saved this one and I haven't watched this one. So we'll do that. As I always say in these videos, make individuality and creativity have no rules, but makeup most definitely has a theory, especially when you're selling it as a service. Do consider subscribing, giving this video a thumbs up, and let's go. Let me just jump here on myself and thank today's sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is Cakewalk, and I really want to tell you about how unique Cakewalk is. So Cakewalk is a service that combines all your links. You can put whatever link you want in there, your socials, your website, whatever you want to do. So it's all in one place, easy to find for everyone. So not only that, but Cakewalk also combines this with sponsored activities in a menu on your bio. And it's a great tool for creators, no matter what size you are, whether you're just starting out, whether you already have a big following. It's amazing. So let me tell you how this works, because this is so incredible. So for those of you who consume content and don't so much create content, Cakewalk allows you to tip your favorite creators just by doing these activities in their bios. And that could be something as simple as just downloading an app, for example. When you do that activity, your favorite content creators receive a tip, but you also receive cashback for completing that activity. And this cashback can be redeemed on gift cards or exclusive content that a creator is putting out. So everyone wins. It's such a cool little thing. So let me show you mine. So up here you can see the cashback amount you'll get from completing tasks. All my links are there under my name. I have my picture. You can also personalize the whole page yourself. It looks really clean, really easy to use. And I made mine purple, of course. And then we have the activities here. It tells you how much you can tip, and when you press the down arrow for more information, it shows you how much cashback you're getting as well. Also, the types of activities that show up, they're going to be based on your audience's interest, and you can actually pick yourself what you think your audience will be interested in. So for example, mine would be beauty, of course, but then I also know that a lot of my audience are interested in other things, you know, like interior design or gaming and things like that. So you can choose that. And for both the creator and the audience, you can offer exclusive content when an individual tips over a certain amount. Now, if you are a content creator, this is a great thing to sign up for. It's free to get started. It literally takes seconds to register. I do all my thinking in bed. So I got into bed and I registered and I set up my profile. It was super quick, really easy to do. All the offers are updated for you. So all you have to do is add the link to your bio and then you're done. So to find out more and start your own account with Cakewalk, you can go ahead and click down below. The link is there in the bio for you. And thank you again to Cakewalk for sponsoring today's video. Also, just before we get into this, I will be pausing maybe a good few times throughout this video. If you want to watch Judy D's video in its full, I always leave it down below. However, the point of the reaction videos is to have a reaction. If it frustrates you that I pause a lot, perhaps this video isn't for you. Okay.
Lindas, this makeup artist took the phrase, "It's my way or the highway," to a whole new level. He wanted to do my eyebrows. He did everything possible without asking me, without my permission, and without even letting me know. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this, but just letting you know, heads up. No, I didn't even have a heads up, Lindas.
Is that wax? Is that wax? Let me just tell you something. This one thing really irritates me. As a makeup artist, you do not have to change, as in wax and pluck, and physically change the shape of someone's eyebrows unless they've booked in for that service. Draw them in, carve them out, especially without permission. Eyebrows are so important to people, just like hair. They either growing them out or they're doing it a certain way. You do not touch their eyebrows unless you ask permission.
I have no idea what was happening. Not once, not twice, 3 times I stopped him. Or attempted to stop, let's say.
Also as well, sorry, have you ever tried to put makeup on top of, first of all, freshly waxed skin. Let's absolutely not put makeup on top of that. And also, have you ever tried to put makeup on the surface? Oh, why do I keep saying surface? On that kind of like texture that waxing or threading leaves afterwards. It's really difficult. There's something about the skin that's incredibly smoothed out in a way that makes makeup application a little bit more difficult. I would wait a good 24 hours at least after waxing your brows before you put makeup on it. You just ripped your skin, potentially.
Firmate tu ceja y poder darle el tono del...
I stood my ground. I told him, please just color them in, shade them in. And he stepped up his game.
that tint?
Boy, he did not just shade them in, he tinted them. Semi-permanently. You know, he really did go there.
This is also a lot of effort and time, considering you have maybe an hour to do someone's makeup, to tint and wax their brows before. Is a whole service is a whole service within itself. Time saving, let's not do that.
To tint someone's eyebrows, to put a product on someone's face without telling them,
Exactly.
without asking them, especially if it's freaking, oh my god, this is literally almost permanent makeup. Like, I cannot imagine someone doing this. Like, it was so unbelievable. I didn't believe it was happening.
No, no te estoy sacando la ceja, nada más para perfilarte la ceja, o sea, para darle forma.
Estoy bien sin algo, no quiero. Solo el maquillaje, por favor.
There's nothing more frustrating to me when, after I told him twice specifically that I don't want anything to do with waxing or shaving or plucking my eyebrow, I finally did get the awakening. When I finally realized what was happening, I was so scared. I got so scared. I had to double take. I didn't even believe what I saw on the reflection of my phone.
¿Qué es esto?
Ya te lo voy a retirar ahorita, eso se retira y nada más quedan los vellitos sombreados, no
Sí,
queda
pero
así.
es permanente.
¿Ah?
¿Es permanente?
Sí, se caen los
No,
vellitos.
no quiero algo permanente, por favor. No quiero maquillaje.
How many times do you have to specify what you want before the person listens? This is something that happens a lot. Makeup artists, people just doing what they think is best. The money isn't about what you think is best. To a degree it is, but it's also what the person wants. You don't go, do extra because you think it's right to do.
Si te hago el maquillaje solo, no te va a resaltar, te va a quedar
It
así.
will, it will. If you just do the makeup, it will show up. You can pencil it in. If you want it dark, you can use a fucking black pencil if you want to. It will show up. Don't be stupid.
He continues to give me excuses and he continues to blame it on me.
Entonces el maquillaje no lo quieres fuerte.
Quiero fuerte, pero no quiero algo permanente.
Claro, yo
Este
sé.
va- este-
No, ya te lo voy a retirar con
Sí,
alcohol.
por favor. Ahora,
O sea, si te hago el maquillaje...
maquillaje que puedo retirar en 1 hora, 2 horas. No algo como toda mi vida.
Fuerte y permanente no son las mismas cosas, ¿no?
The fact that I asked for a strong photo shoot makeup look, that I told him to do whatever he wanted to do. Apparently that's a pass. That's a pass for him to put something like this on my face without asking me.
I would have left. I would have just straight up left. That brow colour as well is more warmth to it than there needs to be. It's not the right colour also. And exactly like what was said in the video, you don't put permanent and strong makeup are different things. I have done people's makeup with no eyebrows or light blonde eyebrows with strong makeup. There's a way to make it work and you can add things to the brow. That's what makeup is for. It washes off. We don't need to make it permanent. That really is concerning. And also, I'm assuming she had no patch test before. Otherwise, we would have known what was happening, you know? And can I just say, this is the angriest I've ever seen Judy D in one of these videos, and a lot happens, but this was disrespectful.
His next move is to do my face. And I don't know what he's doing in the back. I actually assumed he was getting a new sponge. Because it looks like wrapping. I just don't know what it is, to be honest. Yeah, but it was clear. It was not a new sponge.
Disgusting. Absolutely. So I'm guessing he wrapped the the sponge in some sort of, you know, like plastic wrap to make sure it doesn't get dirty. But I mean, look at it. It's covered in crap and filth. It does surprise me that somebody who I hope is trained in tinting brows and doing brows, I now worry about the razor that he used on the eyebrow earlier, is unaware of hygiene practices, basic hygiene practices. And even so, if somebody is paying you $50 for a makeup service, you can go and get a new sponge. You can have that in the price. Go and get a new sponge.
It was all good. It was all smooth until it wasn't. I don't know what happened. Wow, like I was struggling.
Try not to sneeze when you're doing foundation in case what? In case what? I mean, try not to sneeze when you're doing your eyeliner, yes, but when you're doing foundation, also unhygienic to hold a thing against someone else's face because it's going to touch someone else's face. Hygiene.
The foundation was actually not a bad match. It actually worked until he put the powder. And then the powder, wow, it just looks like Cheetos dust sprinkled all over my face. Like it's not even even.
If that was a foundation, I think it is. It looked like MAC Face and Body. Face and Body is an extremely lightweight foundation, which I personally wouldn't apply with a sponge anyway. The matches aren't difficult because there's like 4, 5, 6 shades and they're kind of like, it's almost like tinted moisturizer-esque, not in terms of texture, but in terms of shade match, where you can be 1 or 2 shades out and it will still look absolutely fine. However, it is quite a wet foundation, so putting powder immediately on top, I fear we're going to get a darker powder, or the powder is going to congeal with the foundation a bit. Excuse me, please. Here's one way to hygienically use loose powder as a professional makeup artist. Powder, lid is off, tissue in my hand or a palette. Powder. I now have powder in the tissue. Brush that doesn't touch the original packaging into that tissue. Powder the face. There's a way to do everything hygienically.
So the rest of the makeup was just like it was just a haze. Definitely not a lavender haze though.
No, why? I can tell it's going to be a shit show already because too much product on the eye. Well, we know because it's Julie D's videos, but too much product on the lid. When you're carving out your brow like that, despite what we see from many makeup academies online, you don't need to pack on the primer like that. You can use a tiny bit and take it across and get a good carve of that brow. Excess product is going to make your eyeshadows look wet. It's going to crease. It's going to be gross. And also a beauty blender on the eyes. You're now making the brows like covered in makeup, the lashes covered in makeup. Precision around the eyes. There's nothing precise about that sponge. Is this it? Is that it? No.
He does my eyeliner. Not bad, to be honest. Oh, never mind. Oh my god, I feel like negative Nancy.
This is, okay, so I always feel like it's a good idea to start your eye makeup from the lash line up or through the socket out and then in, because we get this kind of like when the eyeshadow touches the eyebrow all the way across, it just instantly looks terrible. What would break this up really nicely, well, not nicely, as nice as we could do, is to take maybe something a little bit darker now just through the socket. You see like where I have this darker purple, just to break up that block color of orange. So say you've taken it up to your brow, okay, nothing we can do now. We could go over with some concealer and carve it out, but we don't want to do what we can't do, you know? So let's break up that socket with some darker brown, or the way we're going black. That liner, fine, whatever. I do think it's that glitter though, things like that. I did notice two things. In the palette, you could see it was like a glitter in a palette and he just kept going in. A spatula, take a little bit out on the back of your hand. You are a professional providing a service, be hygienic. I'm just gonna say hygiene through this whole thing. And it looks as though that needed a little bit more precision. So perhaps a small liner brush, a smaller brush, not the same tip that you use to apply the eyeshadow, would be really, really nice. Just for precision reasons, because you can see it's going everywhere. The eyeliner has now smudged into her socket, which is another thing a lot of all of us know. Black liner, black mascara, you better wait for that to dry before you open your eye or get somebody to look up, especially as you've put down something on top that looks like it could be potentially wet or have some kind of moisture to it or some kind of thing to make it stick to the lid. Yeah, okay.
Also, if you're wondering what he's doing in his little lab at the back, well, he's making his own apparatus. He's sticking cotton to a stick and spraying it with something so he can clean the side of my eye. And that burnt. That hurt. Imagine spraying perfume on an open wound. I'm assuming the thing he sprayed had fragrance and alcohol, and it was so close to my eye, so not the brightest ideas.
Makeup artist panic has set in. I can see it. There's the panic. Trying to fix, trying to build back on top, trying to fix. He's now putting textures on top of textures that shouldn't be, powder on top of that wetness. That wasn't your coverage in the first place. The foundation was your coverage, so wait for it to dry, go back in with your foundation, then add some powder, then do your liner again. Do it in the same order you did before. You removed it, build it back up the same way. There's no control with this glitter. Products like that tend to flake or have flakiness, whether it be a loose eyeshadow or a glitter, you really need to pack and push onto the lid. A smaller brush, or even the edge of that disposable applicator that he seems to be using for everything, to pack it on and push it. Otherwise, you're going to get this crumbling underneath. It's going to be everywhere. You have no precision. Also, I do find it weird how he's doing this, like, along the lash line and on inside corner. With glitter, unless you're using a very heavy glue underneath and it is a compact glitter, this isn't the kind of product to be trying to make a shape with. It's obviously meant to look sporadic and shimmery, but you can't get a precise shape. So it almost looks like he's trying to do this cut crease shape, but you can't get a precise shape with glitter because there's like a fragment here, a bit here, making it look sporadic. You know, a color of eyeshadow base or eyeshadow that is similar to the glitter underneath, made into that shape first, then with the glitter packed on, would have looked more like an actual structure rather than without having to pack on the glitter, and still would have kept that shine to it. But it just looks dirty because unhinged because the glitter's capturing light in different ways. That's what glitter does. It captures light differently to each other, so it looks sparkly everywhere. So you can see there's no defined shape on the inside of her eyelid here. There's no defined shape here. It looks like he's trying to make this kind of shape like this. But we have a bit of glitter here, we have a bit here, we have a bit here, a bit here, a bit here. That's not giving us defined shape, it's giving us messy.
Like, both of us should just exit. Both of us should just leave immediately. But no one is. No one's leaving.
A white pencil is kind of okay to do this with, perhaps before the eyeshadow, because now you're trying to drag a pencil across powder up here anyway, which is usually it's fine to do when you want to build up a lot of color along the lash line, but we don't want pure white under the brow, right? We want it to add highlight. Concealer would have been better for this. Even a concealer pencil that is a skin tone would have been better for this. Or in my opinion, if I was educating this person, well, it wouldn't have ended up like this, but I would be like, you know what, let's just stop.
Oh, no.
Ya después te lavas, si te quieres quitar las cejitas con alcohol, como te dije, con algodoncito, ya se te caen todas.
Let me just get this straight, right? He was worried that the eyebrows were not going to show up with this makeup, yet the eyebrows are the least thing that shows up with this makeup. It does not show up at all. He could have used an eyebrow powder or even an eyeshadow through the brow if it was the correct shade, and it would have been absolutely fine. They still don't look as bold as I think he thought it would. Okay, let's analyze, right? So we have this whole area up here where that white pencil was. I totally would have just kept it how it was before. Not that it was good before, but it was better than this, because now we have this sharp line, which doesn't look blended, and this odd kind of rounded shape and this potentially pointed shape here. We have this rounded shape here. We have, look, this is glitter being glitter, but not picking up shine. Can you see how it just looks crusty in all these areas? Very light mascara on the lashes, considering he was so worried about hairs not showing. You would have think he would have gone a little bit more. I also want to point out here that the eyeliner gives this very sloped down shape to her eyes, and fair enough, we want to kind of connect it into here, but we could have connected the liner in here and towards the corner of her brow and had a really nice lifted shape and completely got rid of this whole chunk of eyeshadow right here and eye makeup right here to really lift the eyes up. Okay, let's end it there. What a horrible experience. So that, it wasn't so much about the makeup, even though yes, the makeup was absolutely terrible. It was about the disrespect and the constant not listening I know best, when he most definitely doesn't, about what the customer wanted, the client wanted. Never once in my life have I've plucked an eyebrow hair with permission, but I've never once in my life gone into wax them, because I don't know how to, or shave them or something like that. Waxing, potentially, you can, you know, have some kind of skin ripping off. We can have damage. What's he going to put makeup on top of that, waxing the whole brows? Can you imagine? Poor Judy. That's the most pissed off I've ever seen her, and I totally understand why. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. Don't forget to go and follow Judy and check out the whole video, because it is something else, let me tell you. Thank you so much. I will see you very, very soon. Bye.